You've got a fire in your belly, a passion to serve, and an insatiable drive to contribute. You know that if you can just get your message in front of the right people, you can change lives. But where to start? There are so many options, so many moving pieces. You get bogged down, overwhelmed, frustrated, while the burning desire to serve others consumes you. I know, I've been there. And these days I bring life-changing impact and value to people's lives through the creation of books, funnels, online courses and coaching programs, and virtual summits. This is the Call to Serve podcast. I'm Tim Cooper, and this is my journey. I was reading an article yesterday on the 21 universal laws. And while the author gave a good general overview, there were a couple of laws that I felt had been misinterpreted, that it had been interpreted in a way that was very sort of new agey, fluffy, trying to ignore the negative stuff in the world. And that's my opinion. And I don't know everything. And if you've got a different opinion, please let me know, put them in the comments, reach out to me. But the one that really struck me is the law of polarity. And the law of polarity basically says that everything has two poles. Now, let's have a look at what these universal laws are. They are universal laws. They affect and govern everything on this planet. And regardless of whether you like to think they work other than the way they do, that ain't going to change a thing. That ain't going to change a thing. These are universal truths, right? Up is always up, down is always down. Gravity works the same all over the world, no matter how old you are, what color, creed, religion. You drop a pen, it's going to fall to the floor. So these are universal truths. They affect everybody, and they're not really open to interpretation or softening down just because you don't like the idea that there's negativity or evil in the world. So the law of polarity basically states that everything has two poles, opposites. You've got good and evil, love and hate, connection and disconnection. And we must have this, like everything must have its opposite to keep the universe in balance. Just think of the two poles, North and South Pole. Now, if you stand at the equator, if you want to be neutral, that doesn't nullify the existence of the North and South Pole. They still exist. Regardless of what change you think you brought about, those poles still exist. And polarity is powerful, right? It's empowering. This is where you stand in your beliefs. And if you sort of follow what this person said, that, well, basically this person said that polarity was two extremes. Well, it's not two extremes. They're opposites. They're polar opposites. And she also said that, for you to get balance in life, you should look for the middle ground, look for something more neutral. Once again, that's not what it's all about. And if you go taking that approach, you're basically selling your soul. You're giving up what you believe in. If you live your life simply to please others, what's happened to you and your beliefs and what you stand for, what you're passionate about? Where do they go? People having different views and different beliefs is what makes the world so interesting. And if you do have firm beliefs, right or wrong, you shouldn't be obliged to change your beliefs and move to middle ground just to please other people. Now, I'm not saying go out there and upset people and be abusive and call everybody else on the planet wrong if they don't agree with you. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, if you believe something to your core and you feel very strongly about it, then stand by it. And this is what polarizing means. Like, if somebody's got a strong message, there's going to be people who love that person, people in the middle who really don't care because it doesn't really affect them, or they're not particularly interested. And that person's also going to have haters, because at the end of the day, you cannot please everybody, no matter how you try. So why give up on your convictions? Why back down from your beliefs because you seek middle ground? You lose yourself, your individuality. So the law of polarity just simply means that for every negative situation, at the exact same instant, there's a positive option as well. So if you're saying, oh, I'm having such a bad day, well, guess what? A good day also exists in that same moment. It's just a choice. It's just a choice that you want to have, whether you want to endure a bad day or enjoy a good day, right? Polar opposites, not extremes. And this is so important. Look, there's a reason why there's multiple political parties. There's a reason why there's multiple religions. Now, I'm not going to talk about politics because I personally don't trust any politician. I'm sure they start out with all the best intentions, but at the end of the day, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And you'll find that with these political parties, especially the main parties, they're both wings of the same bird. They're just different sides of the same coin, right? They're not too much different. Like when it gets right down to the nitty gritty, they're not too much different from each other. So politics is not a really good example of polarity, right? But if you don't agree with somebody, that is fine. If somebody doesn't agree with you, that's also fine. And as I said, I'm not telling you to be out, go out there and be obnoxious and push your views on the world as you are the only one who knows stuff, because none of us know everything. We can all be mistaken. We can all get the wrong idea at times. But it's so important that if you are going to be yourself, then stand in your beliefs. Be open to new beliefs, of course. Don't close yourself off, because who knows? You may be wrong about something. So be open to options. Be open to change your views, change your outlooks based on the facts and the evidence that's laid out in front of you. But simply don't just go all wishy-washy. No, I've got no opinion on anything because I'm too worried that if I have an opinion or I state my opinion, I'm going to upset somebody. And sometimes if you feel very, very strongly about something and you believe that that belief is going to upset somebody else, then you can just keep your beliefs to yourself. You don't have to lie, say, oh, I agree with you. No, that's right. But just say, well, my beliefs on that are quite personal. I don't feel like sharing. And that way you sort of get out of a fight or a disagreement, but you still stand true. And that is the power. That is empowering. When you understand that there are two poles to everything, black and white, good and bad, love and hate. And that's just part of the world. So if you want to take that neutral position, you're not changing anything. Those things still exist. They are universal laws, right? They're universal truths. So just by you as an individual going, no, I'm going to take the middle ground, I'm not going to have an opinion on anything, then the only person you're throwing out of balance is yourself. Now you're out of balance because now you don't have a standing. And guess what? Even if you don't have an opinion, people are still going to disagree with you. I mean, you can't please everybody. So stand in your truth, like stand in your truth, in your beliefs. Be open to new beliefs if the evidence proves that maybe you you based a belief on misinformation, as we all do. Like, we know we go through life, we have our experiences, we interpret those experiences, and we build a story in our head. And sometimes that story isn't right. A lot of times the story isn't right. So be open to that change, but don't just give up your beliefs and your passions and everything that you stand for fear of upsetting somebody. So that's just what I wanted to talk about today. I said that's my take on it. If I've got it totally wrong, please let me know. You know, I don't like war, but the simple fact that I don't like war doesn't mean that war isn't happening and that more war won't happen, right? So regardless of our personal beliefs and standings, the universe continues on regardless of us, okay? So please have conviction, right? Conviction is, you know, empowerment. Stand by what you believe. And if people disagree with you, so be it. But I'll tell you what, there will be a lot of people who will agree with you and appreciate what you say. And you can actually bring about massive change in those people's lives by speaking your conviction. So don't take the middle ground. Wishy-washy. You're not going to please everybody anyway, so you might as well stand by your convictions and polarize. So I hope you found that useful, because sometimes, as I said, a lot of these things get misinterpreted, softened down, you know, softly, tread softly, eggshells. And at the end of the day, the world is the world. There are negative and positive things happening at every millisecond around us. And if we understand that, if we come to the understanding that, yes, there are polar opposites to everything, there is an opposite, we can use it to our advantage. When we're in a bad situation, we can go, well, if I'm in a bad situation, there is a polar opposite of something positive. Let's look for that positive. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and little bell. If you enjoy this content, give it a thumbs up. As I said, I'd love to hear what you think, because I definitely don't know everything. This is just my understanding, the beliefs I've built through the study and reading and mentoring I've had, right? And I believe my one mentor is pretty much on the mark, and also based on other information. So this is what I believe. This is what I understand the law of polarity to be, but I could be wrong. And I'm also open to new information that may change my views. And in a little while, get this wrong every time, over here, there will be a playlist popping up with all the previous episodes. If you're listening to this on another podcast platform and you enjoy the show, you get value from it, then please follow the show, give it a review. And if there's a way for you to reach out to me via that platform, please do so. Otherwise, I'm also always available at tim@timcooper.au. That's tim@timcooper.au. I'd really love to hear from you. And until next time, you take care.